Nimble, stay dandy, baby. Best part of this episode of My Hero Academia has got to be Tenya Ida dressed up as Santa Claus. I'll fight you to the death on that one. Hello, my friends, and welcome to another review of My Hero Academia. But before we jump into this episode, make sure to subscribe to my channel if you're liking my content. If you do like this video, hit the like button. Do that YouTube algorithm thing. It really helps out these videos a lot. And if you want to go that extra mile, please make sure to check out my Patreon page. Remember, first-time donators, I'll review an anime series of your choosing. In fact, I have a big new Patreon review, which is going to be coming up in the next week, so please make sure to stay tuned for that. But let's go ahead and jump into this episode of My Hero Academia, which I have to say, when I first started the episode, man, was I getting really excited. They opened up with this crazy scene of the city, which is getting completely destroyed, and then we have this really creepy, epic shot of Tomura Shigaraki, who just looks all disheveled and messed up and crazy and just batshit insane, and then suddenly it cuts to the opening song, and you're like, oh shit! What's about to happen in this episode? And then suddenly it just transforms into a Christmas-themed episode of My Hero Academia. And don't get me wrong, there were a lot of things about this episode that I certainly enjoyed. And all of that is owed to the characters themselves and watching them simply just have a good time with all the Christmas setting and the fact that they're all wearing Santa Claus outfits. Like I said, Tenya Ida dressed as Santa Claus made my freaking day in this episode. I really did love it. Katsuki Bakugo is totally the fucking explosive Grinch in this episode. He hates holidays and happy shit in general, so you know that there's going to be a lot of tension from him in this episode. There's even a whole subplot where we even bring in the character of Mount Lady in all of her fan-servicey glory as she tries to teach the young students how to have a proper interview after they're done saving a city, because both Katsuki Bakugo and Shoto Todoroki totally blew their interview after they saved the day in the last episode. So again, it's more of that kind of ridiculous, offhanded kind of development that you expect from the series. But if you're wanting the series to like build up to the next major arc, you're probably not going to get it in this episode. This one is going to depend on how much you really like these characters. And in that sense, I certainly did get enjoyment out of it. There's even a nice musical number where they're all hanging out. There's lots of Christmas shenanigans and everything. But not that much in terms of actual development is going to be happening. And really, it's the calm before the storm. We've had a lot of those in the series. You could even argue that the last episode was very much something like that. But it's pretty clear they're going to be building up to something next, as everybody's going to be getting right back into their studies as well as their actual hero work. In fact, I think the most important part of this entire episode is probably the post-credit scene, which is very easy to miss because sometimes they do post-credit scenes, sometimes they don't. I wish they'd be more consistent on that, but the point is, one happens in this episode, and it looks like Shoto Todoroki is going to invite both Deku and Katsuki Bakugo to work with him and his father Endeavor, which is freaking awesome. I'm very excited to see what all of that is actually going to be about. But otherwise, that's pretty much the episode. Christmas, happy, fun time shenanigans. So what's the rundown on this episode of My Hero Academia? This is one of those instances where I really wish I had more to talk about, but really, this episode for me was just kind of a pass. It just still blows my mind that they opened up the episode with something that seemed it was very important and something they just sort of gloss over at the beginning of the episode about this city, Deka City 9, I believe is what they actually call it. The destruction and the means behind it is still a complete and utter mystery, but I want to know what's up. I want to know what's going to be going on with all the villains, the League of Villains, what's going on with them, and it looks like they're probably going to start getting to that more in the next episode of the series. But this one right here, again, is just taking the opportunity to spend more time with these characters in another fun situation, and this time, it's Christmas themed. I think maybe my favorite thing about all of the Christmas stuff was when they brought in Eri, who came in, of course, also dressed as Santa Claus, and she was fucking adorable the entire time, like the most stupid cute character you've ever seen. What's really funny about her character is that, of course, she's lived such a sheltered life, she doesn't know much about holidays in general, and she is confusing Christmas with so many different type of holidays, everything from Halloween to Easter, and her interactions with everybody, again, is surprisingly charming. But if that kind of thing is not your cup of tea, you might not like this episode as much. That being said, I do want to recommend this episode to people who are continuing to watch the series, especially those who are anime-only watchers like myself, because you never really know when an important episode is going to come along, when a filler episode is going to come along, or when one of these random, slow, kind of character study episodes are going to happen. This one was sort of like a hodgepodge and mix of a lot of different things, and I definitely appreciated a lot of the humor that came from this episode, but I'd be lying if I didn't say that I'm just ready for the next storyline. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've already gotten a lot of enjoyment out of this season. The whole battle between Class A and B I thought was really exciting, but damn it, I'm ready for the next part of the story to start. It feels like we were waiting so long to get to that, and I'm just ready. We're halfway through this season pretty much. I'm ready for some new development, lots of crazy action, new characters, and I can't wait to even see more of Deku in his training, which was slightly hinted at in this episode. He's able to use the Black Whip just a little bit more in this episode, which I thought was really cool. He can't use it very well, but he's able to at least unlock it, and it comes out as like a small black wisp, which suddenly disappears, much to the humor of everyone and Mount Lady herself as well. It was also great to see her character return, as she's just a lot of fun personally. She's just got such a ridiculous personality, and they couldn't have handpicked a better person to try and teach these kids about what it means to have like an interview and being a hero, as while she is very good at it, she's also a really great world-class bullshitter. It's just something that she's very good at, so she can sort of use those skills, which, you know, traditionally in the series has been seen as a negative, but somehow turn it into a positive in this episode. If anything, it's entertaining. And like I said, Tenya frickin' Ida as Santa Claus, yeah, that made this episode for me. But like I said, it was just kind of okay. I'm going to give this episode a 3 out of 5. Average, but very watchable. Remember, average is not necessarily bad. I still think it's something that all fans of the series need to check out, but it wasn't exactly perfect in my opinion. And again, that's just my opinion. Yours may differ, and you can tell me what your opinion is in the comment section below. Let's have a discussion about this episode, development, your favorite moments, and what you're hoping to see from the future of My Hero Academia. So, thank you guys so much for watching this review. I'll see you all next time, and as always, stay down there, baby.